The Eagles, they chirp last and loudest, and they get the win on a soggy afternoon at the Link as they win this game on the touchdown. Philadelphia, the NFL's only 10-1 team. Super Bowl hangover, it hasn't kicked in yet. The better story, though, is in the losing locker room, and so that is where we will begin. Bills Mafia, devastated. They are in despair. There was a horse collar tackle in the second quarter against Josh Allen. The referee said, that's a nice horsey. We'll let that go. Didn't call it. There were a couple other calls in this game that could have been made, were not made. And in the end, Buffalo drops to 6-6 on the season. And since the better story is in the losing locker room, that is where we will begin. So let us discuss the question. The question is this: where does this performance leave Josh Allen and the Bills? So I've got Amy Winehouse, earbuds, and geography. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make a miscommunication, which is another thing the Buffalo Bills had. Otherwise, they would have won this game. They had a miscommunication in overtime. So, number one.
Number one. Number one. Number one. Number one.
All right. We had to make up. You were gone, Iowa Sam, for a long time, so we had to make up for that. Iowa Sam was away, and he's back. And he actually went to Iowa for one day, but he walked, actually. He walked back from Iowa. So anyway, so Josh Allen painted a mosaic. He used water paint, water-based paint in this game. Rainy conditions, it didn't matter there. Allen was the conductor of the Buffalo Orchestra. Offense put up 505 yards. You won the stat sheet. Congratulations. You didn't win the game. You didn't win the game. 34 points, not enough. You needed more than that. It was a jet-fueled attack by the Bills. Josh Allen was amphibious in this game, by land, by air, by whatever. Didn't matter. But 339 passing yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground, 2 touchdowns on the throwing of the football. But in the end, there was a crucial miscommunication between Josh Allen and Gabe Davis that left the game-sealing touchdown off the board. Davis zigged when he should have zagged. And he screwed up, and it would have been a touchdown, could have been a touchdown, should have been a touchdown. It wasn't a touchdown. It wasn't a touchdown. Now, as for the question, where does this performance leave Josh Allen and the Buffalo football team? It's like an Amy Winehouse song, on the outside looking in. They're on the outside looking in. They would have been the final playoff team for now had they won the game. But because of the loss, Buffalo free falling. They're at 6-6. They're in 10th place. And they still have Kansas City and Dallas up ahead. Here's Josh Allen, the Buffalo quarterback, Josh Allen, commenting on the status of the Buffalo football team after this loss. Take a listen.
I'm extremely confident in our guys and
really
the men that we have in this locker room.
No, why?
And we understand where we're at, so we gotta get things going. Again, I think effort was there, execution was there. Just got to make a couple more plays, and there's a couple we wish we had back.
I'd love for Josh Allen to say, I really don't trust this team. We'll find a way to screw it up. You are what your record says you are, and you are a baseline team. You're 6-6. That's what you are. That's what the Buffalo Bills, this vintage of the Buffalo Bills in 2023, that's where they find themselves. And now turning the page, Jalen Hurts. And the Eagles, they get the win. Now, Jalen Hurts says that he is not playing up to his standard. Keep in mind, the Eagles are 10-1 on the season. He said, quote, obviously we have a ton to clean up. I have not been executing to the level of my standard, Jalen Hurts said, but it seems to be enough in terms of the standard that I'd like to play to consistently. and that I'd like us to play to consistently as a team. Enough is never enough, close quote. What is your opinion of Jalen Hurts, in his words, not playing up to his standard? All right, so I say bravo. I say bravo. Now, Philadelphia, I am so jealous of the Eagles. They have the most unstoppable play, the tushy-pushy. You cannot stop this play. You get down to a 4th and 1, a 3rd and 1, 1 yard to go at the goal line. You're going to score. It's an amazing play. Now, the other teams try to run the play. They don't run it as well. Jalen Hurts is a workout fiend, and man, is he good at that play with Jason Kelce. So good, so good. But the Eagles, I agree with the general sentiment that in terms of nitpicking, which is what we get paid to do here, Jalen Hurts has turned the ball over quite a bit. You're playing with fire. The Eagles coming from behind, not something that will continue to go your favor. And we know how these teams generally turn out. You have a great record, very gaudy record in the regular season, and then in the playoffs, you suddenly don't come back when you get down by 10 points. You don't overcome the quarterback turning the ball over. You don't make those plays. But the Eagles, for now, are doing a high-wire act. And for now, it's working, in large part because up until this point, Jalen Hurts has been able to shake off the bad plays that he has made, the interceptions, the fumbles, the things like that. The secret sauce has been the noise-canceling earbuds that Jalen Hurts has had there, and he's able to compartmentalize, and he doesn't sulk. Some of these guys, they get the sad face, the long face, they got the droopy eyes, the whole thing. And Jalen Hurts does not do that. It's like what's done is done, and he moves on to the next play. We all know quarterbacks where they have one bad play that leads to 2 or 3 other bad plays because they feel sad and depressed and all that. Jalen Hurts he doesn't appear to have that, which is a positive. He hasn't turtled up. He doesn't start going through the woe is me and all that. And in this game, at the end, in the fourth quarter and overtime, he outplayed mano a mano. It was a shootout game in the rain in Philly, and Jalen Hurts outplayed Josh Allen down the stretch. This is Occam's razor. The simplest answer is the easiest answer and the right answer. That head-to-head, Josh Allen needed to be better at the end and needed to be on the same page with Gabe Davis. He was not. Otherwise, we're having a much different conversation at this point. All right, final point. We'll move away from the Philadelphia victory over Buffalo. We go to Arizona. Why? Because it was on the schedule. That's why we're going to Arizona. Matthew Stafford with not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 touchdowns. You know why? Because you can ram it all day and you can ram it all night. As the LA Rams, Kyron Williams, a golden domer, over 200 yards of total offense and a pair of rushing touchdowns. And the Rams poleaxing the Cardinals 37-14. The final, LA improves to 5-6 on the season. Alligator arms, Kyler Murray, those little alligator arms. Arizona drops to 2-10 on the season. So are Sean McVay's Rams a legitimate NFC playoff contender? The answer is yes. The answer is yes, a resounding yes. The Rams are in the midst of playoff contention. I am nodding my head, yes, that is reality. Now, keep in mind, the Rams are not a good team and are a playoff contender. Both these things are simultaneously true. All right, now why is that? Why is that, right? They've got a losing record. You are what your record says you are. They have a losing record. However, this is a product of geography. It is a byproduct of geography. Location, location, location. The NFC does not have enough quality teams to make playoff spots. There are 7 teams in the NFC that are going to be in the playoffs. There are maybe 4 teams that deserve to be in the playoffs, maybe, in the NFC. And outside of that, everything else is just you're throwing slop against the wall. And so there'll be a lot of slop I heard a lot of silence over Thanksgiving from our friends in Seattle. A lot of guys there that were riding the coattails of Geno Smith. What happened? The real Geno has arrived. He sucks. That's a guy that's a bum, Geno Smith. Man, is he terrible. So Seattle's a fraud. They've been exposed. Geno's been exposed. Got smoked by the 49ers last week. You look around now, and the Seahawks are the last team in. You look at those NFC playoffs, and Minnesota, Josh Dobbs will play tonight. The Vikings play the Chicago Bears. So the Rams have 5 wins, and they should get to 9. I see them at 9-8. Is that enough to get in the playoffs at 9-8 in the AFC? Probably is. It probably is. Because they have a bunch of marshmallows. Bunch of marshmallows coming up. So they got a pretty favorable schedule in terms of the cupcakes to get 4 more wins, get to 9 wins, and finish above 500, which will likely get you one of the final wild card spots in the NFC.